That's all you're getting for a skit this week. Get over it, okay? I can't do one for this movie. It's too difficult. There's nothing I can write that can possibly live up to the standard of Blade Runner 2049. It's impossible. This movie's too good. Hello, I'm Jordan McFilmMyself, and the guy who uploads once every month and always decides to review a movie a week after he's seen it, so that a lot of his points are pretty inaccurate and not as, emotionally investing as they should be. But here I am again on a Sunday with another review, probably going to be uploaded at 10 o'clock at night when you're all going to bed or doing other things with your body. But here I am, and I'm reviewing Blade Runner 2049, the best film of the year. I said it, and I'm not retracting it now. So before I get into reasons as to why I absolutely adore this film, let's talk about the original Blade Runner, which was released in like the 80s or something, and it was directed by Ridley Scott, who went on to direct Alien Covenant and Exodus: Gods and Kings, both terrific films in their own right. And it's a good movie. It's definitely a visual masterpiece. It's really good science fiction if you're into that kind of thing, which I am. It's got Harrison Ford playing a different role than he did back then, and now usually does. It's a little against type. It's got weird wacky characters and strange acting and really pseudo-philosophical dialogue. It's beautiful. It's really well made. It's intricate. It's a masterpiece in its own right, but it's still kind of a mess. I said it. The Blade Runner's a mess. It kind of is. It's got a little bit too much going on, and sometimes it's a little annoying, and it's not always the most engaging movie ever, but it's nice to look at, and I would recommend checking out. It's definitely a movie that every fan of cinema should see. But knowing that, I don't think it's the best thing ever, which all people do. But knowing all that, I should get into my review of Blade Runner 2049, starring Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford, and the really annoying guy from Suicide Squad. And I should get into the points as to why I think this film is the greatest film of all time. But of course, it's not as good as Kingsman: The Golden Circle, the best movie ever made by anyone. In Blade Runner 2049, much like the original Blade Runner, once again, it is absolutely astonishing in a visual regard. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. The cinematography is some of the best I've ever seen in my entire life. This should win Best Cinematography, hands down. And it's directed beautifully as well. And you can get so much from this film just by looking at it. You don't even need any dialogue or any score, even though the score is absolutely phenomenal as well. I'll get into that later. But you can just you can glean so much from this movie just by looking at the amazing cinematography and how emotive it comes out through its use of colour palette, its use of framing, where characters are in the frame, generally just how a shot is edited together, and how everything's attached to one another. The cuts are always very slow, and the scenes are just allowed to play out without any interference from changing the camera angle too much. So you just see everything staged beautifully. It all happens just as you watch it. It's all very slow and subdued. It's very placid. It just plays out in front of you. It's like you're just being immersed into the world, and you're just a fly on the wall experiencing these phenomenal things go down. These phenomenal things which were framed on screen by some amazing people, some amazing cinematographers. This is great. It just looks amazing. One of the best looking movies I've ever seen in my life. The score is also excellent. It's really good. It's not the kind of thing that I would really listen to if I wanted to hear something catchy or, you know, kind of anthematic like Lord of the Rings by Howard Shore. It's a little more industrial. It plays along the movie really nicely and it really adds to it. It's really, really loud. It's intimidating. It's scary. It's like, it's in your ears, just booming. It's just pure dissonance, and it's excellent. It works so well for this film because it has a dystopian future, and every time I heard those like insanely loud, boisterous like noises just being boomed into my ears, I just felt myself being pulled into this awful world I didn't want to go into, and that matched with the excellent visuals and the great pace, the great daunting pace of the movie, and all its really, you know, deep dark themes. It was just a really, really grand experience, and it's something definitely you have to experience in the cinema with the surround sound and the speakers. And the more technical aspects of the film, as I mentioned there, the cinematography and the score, they go along really nicely with the writing and the character development in this movie. Every single character in this movie is absolutely essential to the plot, because essentially the plot is the characters and their arcs. Ryan Gosling is absolutely incredible, and his character Kay, or his other name Joe, is one of the most compelling performances and characters I have seen in such a long time. It's a very subdued performance. There isn't much, you know, insane, you know, ranting or you know, moments where he gets eureka moments where he's like, oh, now I get it. No, it's all very internal. It's all very, you know, focused on the small, minute facial expressions. He never yells. He never goes out of his way to overact. It's great. It's just all on his face, and Ryan Gosling can pull that off excellently, because not only does he have the most beautiful face ever known to mankind, he generally is like a great actor, and he should get so many more roles of this caliber. Harrison Ford is also great. He's not in the movie for very long though, which isn't really a problem, because Ryan Gosling's character is the main highlight of the film. He is the protagonist. Harrison Ford is there towards the end for about 45 minutes, even half an hour, and he serves this role like really well. This is the most invested I've seen Harrison Ford in his role in so long, even more than in The Force Awakens. He really seems like he actually wants to be there, and he wants to add to his role, and he does. And he does it quite well. I'm not going to give away too much about his character, but there are some things revealed, and I don't feel like they went too far with his character, because I know they didn't want to run up the original. So I feel like they chose well with what they did with his character, and they perpetuated the same kind of notion about him that he had in the original. I'm trying to talk very secretly here, because I know that not everyone's seen the original, and there is some theories out there that might spoil the film for you. The other characters are also really great. They all feel essential to the main message of the film, the main themes, and they all deliver their own specific puzzle piece to this grand magnum opus that is Blade Runner 2049. Kay's like love interest kind of thing, it's the android. It's this weird kind of partner he has. She's very good in the movie, and it really adds to Kay's character as well, she being there, and his sort of dilemma between what is real and what is just implanted within him, what is formulated and what is actual genuinely authentic. Jared Leto as well is actually really good in the movie. He fits in nicely. Usually I don't really like Jared Leto that much, but I'm not going to let that get in front of me when I'm judging this performance, because I feel like he does slot in really well, and he fits the role that he's given. This head of Wallace, I think that's the name of it, but the sort of organisation that creates the replicants. These new replicants that are not meant to be rebellious in any way. But he fits in really well as this really weird guy. He says all these really weird things, and Jared Leto can say weird things because he is a bit of a weird guy. So that worked really well. There are other characters as well. There's Love. He's like a replicant assassin, and she was really badass, but like not too badass. That like ruins the film, ruins the subdued tone. She still works. Everything in this film just works. They do everything so right. There's like no flaws. It's just a perfect movie. It's very smart. It's intricately made. It's intelligently made, and I just love every single part of it. The plot has a very, very interesting structure that I haven't seen before. For the most part, it just plays out like a normal movie. For like the first 2 acts, but when we get to the third act, there's at least like 5 different plot twists that all kind of amalgamate into one sort of reveal, one sort of emotional turning point. But it's really great because these plot twists keep hitting you consecutively, like one after each other, and it just makes the film so interesting. And I can just feel that this film will be a great rewatch because there are like seeds of information in this movie just thrown at you, and you won't see them, and you won't recognize them when they're first there. The film does help you along at the end by kind of cutting back to these scenes a little bit and then showing you where these clues are. But the film plays out really nicely in the regard that there is many twists, and that this will affect the rewatchability beautifully. Also, the movie just goes along very slowly in a slow burn. Lets the characters flesh out, lets the plot sort of thicken gradually, not too fast. They're taking their time. They don't want to ruin the tone, ruin the pace. It plays out like a film noir, like the original Blade Runner did. It's a mystery. It's a sci-fi. It's really just everything I want in a movie, and it's great. Some of the themes and ideas in this movie are just pure science fiction, and they're the stuff I want to be challenged with. This film challenges me to think more about the human psyche, about human morality, and the rest of it. There are some really higher tier ideas present in this film, ideas that are fleshed out and present enough. They're not left too far beneath the surface. They are there, and you can grasp them, and there's plenty to work with in this movie. This film goes all out with its ideas, but at the same time maintains the story that it's trying to tell and the story that is in this world. This world is incredibly captured on screen, by the way. It's excellent. It feels real. Los Angeles 2049 in this case feels like a real place. It feels grimy, it feels lived in. It feels like a possible dystopian future for this planet. And the cinematographer does an excellent job of really just capturing both the magnificence and the horror of it, and of course the score adds to that, as I said. Guys, I don't think there are any flaws with this movie, and I left this movie feeling so perplexed, and I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. It's one of those films that left me dazed for so long, and I just, I discovered in the end that I had to give this film an A+, because it's absolutely beautiful, it's stark, it's intelligent, it's just a beautifully paced movie, and I think we need more movies like this. This is a sequel, but this feels more original than anything I've ever seen, because the director, Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name is, he's don't know what origin he is, where he's from, but once again, like in Arrival, he's absolutely blew me away with his methods of storytelling and his ways of going against those methods of storytelling, and just telling a magnificent story on screen for the cinema. And guys, I love this. It's an A+. I'm Jordan McFilmMyself. My next review will be one quite a bit less positive than this. I'll be reviewing Lego Ninjago. I hope that will be up sooner than next Sunday. I don't know how long I'm going to spend on that, but more exciting news than that even. I am planning on doing a Halloween special, and I think I will begin writing that very shortly, and that will be up on Halloween. I'm feeling I'm thinking of marathoning some Halloween movies and doing a bit of a marathon review session for you guys, and I'm really looking forward to that. So stay tuned. I'm Jordan McFilmMyself. I love Blade Runner 2049. I have a poster and I can't stop looking at it. It's literally my shrine now. And I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe, comment if you like the video, and turn notifications on. And I'll see you in the Lego Ninjago review. Not as good as Transformers The Last Night though.